We're the creators of the AADL TV show, Recipe Share, now in its 4th season, and we have some exciting news. We've created a cookbook. Our cookbook is titled, Thanks for Sharing, which includes recipes by all 3 of us, some of which you may have heard here on the show, and some that we have yet to share.
Our cookbook includes dozens of recipes ranging from breakfast to dinner, with snacks, appetizers, and desserts too. These are all our original recipes created by us or passed down in our families. We're so happy that we get to share them with you.
If you're interested in getting a free copy of our cookbook while supplies last, please email recipeshare@aadl.org with your name and the library you'd like to pick it up at. Thanks for Sharing is also available in Braille. Just let us know if you would like the Braille version. And feel free to email recipeshare@aadl.org if you have any questions. We hope you enjoy.
Recipe share, recipe share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share. Recipe Share, Recipe Share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Recipe Share, a program on AADL TV where we take a few minutes to talk about recipes in a featured category. Today's category is Tea Party Treats. I'm Katie, and as usual, I am joined by Elizabeth and Beth to tell us about their recipes. So, Elizabeth, tell us what you chose today.
I will. This is a recipe that comes from my mom, always some of my favorites to share. She has been making this since, I'm going to guess, like the early aughts. And I have it copied down here on my recipe card that I copied before I moved out of the house, some recipes from her. And this is for her almond biscotti. Usually she makes this around the holidays, but it stores really well. So we'll have it for a few months, in the winter, and it's great with tea. So it's pretty simple. It's a cup of butter, a cup and a half of sugar, and 4 eggs that you cream together. And then you add in 2 cups of finely shelled or finely chopped almonds that have been, like they're the baking almonds that don't have the skin on them anymore. So it's 2 cups finely chopped almonds, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 4 cups of flour. You add that to the creamed butter, sugar, and eggs, and you kind of knead it or use a mixer until it's smooth. And then this forms into 2 oval-shaped rolls that are like an inchish thick. Bake in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes at 375 until they're golden brown. Then they sit, and when it's cool enough, you cut them into the biscotti slices and then toast them in the oven again for 3 minutes to kind of get them that hard deliciousness that you want to dip in tea. Every so often, my mom will sometimes dip them in melted chocolate too, which is awesome, but adds another step. I think they're good as is. This is a really simple recipe that I've helped her make for ages. I don't, unfortunately, have a photo to share right now because it does require a mixer for the creaming of the butter, sugar, and eggs, which I don't have. But I have made this many times, and I will be making it again with her next month when I go home. And it's super good, and love it in tea, coffee, and that's almond biscotti.
Well, that sounds really great. And also, I've never even thought about making biscotti because it just sounds, or for whatever reason, seems like it would be really intimidating, difficult to make, but you made it sound very easy and it sounds really delicious. So I'm all about giving this a shot. Thank you. And thanks to your mom, as always.
Yeah, I haven't ever made it either, but it doesn't seem like it's that hard, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's really not. And you two know I'm not a baker, so I would tell you if it was like complicated. It's really, really simple. So it's, delicious. And I'm sure, Katie, there's gluten-free,
Yeah.
I mean, this seems like this is like a perfect candidate for almond flour.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're right.
So,
yeah.
Okay, Beth, tell us about your tea time treat.
Okay, people. Well, Well, I'll try to keep this short. I don't really drink tea that much, but usually when I'm sick. But as I traveled to Scotland, and I really had intended that while I was there, I'm gonna do up the tea time. They make a big deal of their tea time, and you have to, get a reservation in a tea place. But like around 4 p.m. every day when it's tea time, I was like, that's not the drink I wanted to have. So um I just don't drink tea really. So anyway, um I made those lemon crinkles I was going to share, but I really, really wanted to make shortbread. So I'd had this book. It's just the Curry Home. It's kind of like, it's about Scotland. It's how to live a cozy Scottish life. And they just had this little shortbread recipe in here, and ended up being so crazy easy, because all you use is, I had to yeah, uh, transfer the ingredients because it was in grams. Anyway, so it's just a quarter cup of sugar, a quarter cup of butter, and 3/4 of a cup of flour. You mix it by hand to work in the dough. So to use a rolling pin and roll out the dough until a thickness of around 1 centimeter. My kitchen I made these last night. Kurt was doing something in there. I was like, I'm not even gonna roll it out. I balled them, I pressed them with my fingers, and you chill them for 20 minutes in the fridge and then bake it. And they are delicious. They are super delicious. I mean, it's butter, sugar, flour. Now it says you can use vegan shortbread, or use vegan butter or margarine. Seems to me you could also use gluten-free flour. Other recipes I had been looking at prior to this looked so complicated, and this was really, really easy. One thing about it though, it does call for castor sugar, which is finer sugar, and I just put it in my my little Oscar for quarter cup of it. Just grind it for a couple seconds.
Okay.
So yeah. And then it also called for putting a little of that sugar on top of the cookie. And I didn't, and it's really good. So that's my tea time treat.
Seems like a great vehicle to add in it seems like you could do so much with that. Like you could add in like some rosemary, or just you could put in like cocoa. Like it just seems like it's like
Ooh,
so
yeah.
simple that you could add so much. Not that doesn't sound good as is. I was just thinking about how easy it would be or lemon zest or like whatever, you know?
Yes, absolutely. I was thinking that last night as I was doing it. I was like, this could ginger, cinnamon, taste it. I mean, it
Exactly.
could use any of those things. So you're absolutely right, Elizabeth. And it's like I whipped it up so fast, except for then I was like, my kitchen was surrounded by quinces. So that's another story. But anyway, tea time. It was fun to actually make some shortbread. So I'm looking forward to hearing what Katie made, because it was her idea to have tea time treats.
Well, it's funny that you should mention that. I totally struggled with this category that I picked. I do want to say that I'm so glad that you made shortbread. That was something that when I talked to my mom about what recipe I should choose, she definitely brought that up. She made shortbread a lot when I was a kid coming up, and it's something that I love the taste of. I love that you found a simple recipe, because I know it can be complicated. So that's awesome. Super, super happy to hear about that. So I had planned on making this really nice looking lemon almond cake. I totally planned on this like when I picked this category. So I was like, this is what I'm making, I'm all set. And then as it got closer, I realized that it required some tools that I didn't have. One of the things that sort of put me off of the recipe too was that it called for that super fine sugar. And I was like, I don't want to buy this. Didn't occur to me that you could actually grind it up. And that's an awesome tip. So I'm super happy to know about that. If I do want to make that cake eventually, and also if coming across that ingredient again, now I know how to deal with that. So thank you. Okay, so then I started looking at other different tea time recipes, and I was just like totally uninspired with all the different things that I had tried. And so, just like Beth, I found myself in my kitchen yesterday trying to figure this out, what I was going to do. And I was browsing through different recipes, and so luckily came across a recipe that I am super excited to share with you guys. This recipe is for crinkle top brownie bites, and it comes from What's Gabby Cooking, which I was totally timely because I just noticed the other day as I was looking through the library's new cookbook collection that we just acquired a cookbook by this author, Gabby Dalkin, it's called What's Gabby Cooking? Take It Easy, Recipes for Zero Stress Deliciousness. So I've requested that, and I'm looking forward to looking through that because that is a very good description for this recipe. There was no stress. I had everything in the ingredient list in my house, and it took about a half an hour from start to finish to make this entire thing. And it was totally cute. So you do need a mini cupcake tin. So you need mini cupcake tins like the tray. And I definitely suggest having, if you have one, to get a nonstick one. They're just nicer because things pop out easily. But still, with this recipe, I did coat it liberally with the cooking spray so that these would be easy to pop out. But it's so cool because you just use a medium pot to mix all your ingredients. You start with it over medium heat, and you melt in butter. You add sugar, cocoa powder, salt, mix that up until it's all smooth. Then you remove it from the heat and you add your vanilla, eggs, stir it to combine. Then you add in flour, chocolate chips, stir that to combine, and you just spoon it right into your mini cupcake tins. You bake it for 15 minutes, and the recipe says to let me see what exactly they say. Run a knife is what I'm trying to say. Run a knife along the outside of the brownie bites to get them to pop out. But if you use a nonstick pan and the baking spray, they just popped right out with my fingers. They came out, they're so cute, and they just reminded me of the people in my life who like the brownie edges, because it's chewy all the way around the outside of these things with the soft center. So that was super nice. They do come out looking really cute. I've got a picture of them on a nice tray. I could see serving these for tea time, but just so you all can see, since I made them yesterday, got my little brownie bites here. You can see how cute they are. I like these too because I rarely ever want a whole brownie. So like having like a big old brownie, you gotta cut it in half or find somebody to split it with, or you just eat 5 of these and that's fine too. But I like that you can have just a little bit of brownie. I'll definitely make this recipe again. You could take this anywhere, share it, and get the whole thing done in a half an hour. So loved it.
Sounds great. Love how easy it is. Looks adorable. And I have to admit, I feel comforted that both of you were making your recipes yesterday, because I've definitely been there before, or it's like, oh no, it's tomorrow and I'm in the kitchen. So I'm glad it's not just me. It happens to all of us from time to time. So.
So I have a muffin, like a mini muffin tin. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mini cupcake, mini muffin tin.
Okay.
I think they're the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yummy stuff.
Yeah.
And you could frost them if you felt like it. You could do whatever.
I thought about that too. You could frost them. You could maybe put a little dollop of jam inside. They're definitely or I was maybe a candied walnut on top or something. Yeah, you could fancy them up for sure if you wanted to. Okay, well, we want to thank everybody for watching Recipe Share, and be sure to click the link below to look at the event page on aadl.org to find the recipes that we talked about and to share your own in the comments. Join us next time when we will be talking about Midwest traditions. We're looking forward to seeing what you've been making. So thank you for sharing.
Recipe share, recipe share, share.